citizen spend $2 million to change all signage, some special person will literally get $1 million contract. Will it increase food prices or will it decrease food prices? It will increase food prices. Will the price of fuel drop? No. Will there be more employment opportunities under the PNM? No. The answer is a resounding no. So as I stand before you today, I must state categorically, the only choice for us is the United National Congress. There are three things, before I go, there are three things that you must do in life. The first one is you must vote UNC. The second one is you must vote UNC. And the third one, you must vote UNC. And if you're feeling bad, do it a fourth time and vote UNC. So friends, I congratulate all candidates. I want to single-handedly special Mr. Jason Alley this evening for a wonderful meeting here. I compliment all my returning winning candidates and the new pretty faces to winning candidates who you will meet. So friends, I thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening.
It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and your family.
Thank you, Mr. Sankar Singh, for warming us up and getting us ready. And I like everything he said, especially the last part with the pretty faces, because recently I found out that there are a lot of people who have beauty and brains. And this is what the UNC is about. So I want to bring one such young lady at this time. And from what I see in front of me, I notice good succession planning. So I want us to give a warm welcome to Miss Chanel Roberts, who is a youth leader in her village, and also who is the daughter of Victor Roberts. Let's welcome her, please, as she comes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Political Leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, members of NATEX, MP for Fyzabad, Dr. Lakram Bodo, Chairman of the Library Executive, Mr. Victor Roberts, Chairman of the Superior Borough Corporation, Mr. Dinesh Sankar Singh, specially invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Chanel Roberts, and I am the UNC candidate and the next councillor for the electoral district of A.A.N. My mission this evening is to let you know that you have one choice, and that choice is to vote for the United National Congress. How can people vote for a government that do not care about them when they can take bread out of your mouth, your children's mouth, your grandchildren's mouth, and our future generations to come? There is no hope for the youths because there is no trade schools, no community developments, no cottages. And I ask, where do we go from here? Our crime is out of hand. How many of you have lost loved ones and are left to pick up the pieces? Our health sector is in a mess. Our basic necessities that the government should provide, such as proper drainage, proper roads and water, these has not been met. Is this a government that you want to put back into power? One that hates you, one that neglects you, one that sooner or later will leave you homeless with this property tax that they plan to implement? If you have no job, how are you to pay? My message to you tonight is simple. Vote for the UNC candidates. Vote for proper representation. Vote for the rising sun. So I challenge you, join me, vote for your next councillor for the District of I.A.N. I am Chanel Roberts. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, Ms. Roberts, for confirming what I was saying. Beauty and brains, short and sweet. And she alluded to what Mr. Sanka Singh was doing or saying. 3 things to do, and if you're not sure, 4. So we want to say a good night to Trinidad and Tobago. We are live streaming on the UNC network, Douglas network, on Facebook and YouTube. So we are here live in TNT. And we want at this time to bring on another hard-working young lady, a former national footballer, the president of Sober United Community Group, an activist, and one who is interested in young people. Let us welcome a businesswoman as well. Thank you, sir. I take that. So let us welcome the candidate for Brighton Vestini, Miss Kadisha Castillo.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Honorable Leader, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisessa, members of the NATEX, MP for Fyzabad, Mr. Lakram Budu, Chairman of the Superior, Mr. Dinesh Singh, and Chairman of the Executive of Labrador Constituency, Mr. Victor Roberts. Good night, UNC family. I am Kadisha Castillo, your local government candidate for the electoral district of Brighton Vestini. Tonight I am here, humbled by the love of the people of Brighton Vestini. Tonight I am here. Tonight I am here. Tonight I want to appeal to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, but specifically my people of Brighton Vestini, whom I pledge to serve. I want you to understand and be able to see the daylight through the poison you have been fed by this wicked PNM government for so long. Brothers and sisters, yet still this wicked pot will never maintain government, also known as PNM. They say they are locally reformed, but the truth of the matter is they are locally deformed. Watching you with a straight face, telling you they care. So brothers and sisters, you see this mission is crystal clear. We the UNC have to and must stand our grounds. The people of Brighton Vestini can look forward in me for proper representation because I am young, I am willing, and I am able. So on the 14th of August, I ask you to rally your families, rally the streets, rally the villagers, rally the community, and let us go out in large numbers and without mistake place the X by the rising sun. And with that, we will chase those crazy ballheads out of town. Remember, yellow is the code.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC.
Well, you see me, I'm checking myself now. I'm checking myself. But rest assured, I am certain it's not me she's talking about. Never. All right, so we're moving along. We're going to call yet another young lady who is also interested in the youth of her area. A woman who has a strong sense of God in her life. She is a community leader and she is representing the area of Palaseco. I want for us to welcome tonight Miss Nicola Sylvester. Let's give her a warm welcome, please.
To build a better better TNT. Come on, it's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure.
The Honorable Political Leader, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bisessa, members of NATEX, MP for Fyzabad, Mr. Lakram Bodo, Chairman of the Sapara Borough Corporation, Mr. Dinesh Sankar Singh, Chairman of the Executive Board for Library, Mr. Victor Roberts, members of the UNC family, ladies and gentlemen, good evening! My name is Nicola Sylvester and I am the UNC candidate for electoral district of Palo Seco. As I stand here this evening, I pledge on bringing proper representation for my community. For too long have we been neglected. For too long have we been deceived. I say no more must we be this government's footstool. For years we have suffered under the promises never materialized government. It is time for us to rise. It is time for us to stand our grounds. We are here to bring secure communities, secure jobs, secure education. We want to implement a secure Trinidad and Tobago. I am Nicola Sylvester. Come stand with me, August 14th, the candidate, no sorry, the winning candidate for Palo Seco. Don't vote, just vote. And don't forget, the code is, don't vote, just vote.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. Come on, it's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC.
You know how I'm feeling, Doc? I'm feeling like our nation is in good hands. Because as we mature, I don't want to say we're getting old, but as we mature, we know that the future of Trinidad and Tobago is in good hands. So don't vote, just vote. And who are you voting for? Nice. I want to introduce another young man who is a graduate from the Trinidad and Tobago School of Preaching and Teaching. He is a holder of 2 distinction certificates in legal studies and in industrial relations. He also has certificates in computer literacy, building construction, and is also the holder of a level 6 diploma in project management from Oxford University College. It's more degrees than a thermometer. He is also a community worker, a social activist, and he is a fighter for the poor, the oppressed, and the downtrodden. He is also the chairman of the Labre constituency and the coordinator. I want to welcome tonight, and let us all join hands and welcome Mr. Victor Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable political leader, members of the National Executive, members of Parliament, the chairman of the
now Sipper Borough Corporation, outgoing and soon to be incoming councillors of the borough, and of course the wonderful candidates that is present here tonight, and you, ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished guests, good afternoon. I hope for a short while that you understand and that you see the power of the youth, but I hope you understand the inclusion. They intend to do what the people of Labre never had, which is true and proper representation. The people of this country, they tend to believe, have they examined the policies of this Keith Rowley administration, then you will have no doubt on the 14th to go out in your numbers and vote out the PNM from every crack and cranny in this society. This Keith Rowley, ladies and gentlemen, not only brought this country to the point where we are on our knees, but the surrounding communities as Fyzabad and Labre and Point Fortin, as far as Point up here, this Keith Rowley have done a great injustice, and you the voters must never forget what Keith Rowley had done to your parents, to your mother, to your father, to your brother, to your sister, to your children, to your grandchildren, and even the unborn babies. Keith Rowley, ladies and gentlemen, stand up and lie to you, the population, and tell you that this oil company, Petrotrin, had a burden on this country, and it took us years after to realize, when fishermen and friends of the sea went out of his way to the Freedom of Information Act and get the information that Petrotrin was making a profit. I want to tell you that Petrotrin is still existing today, but it is not existing in Fyzabad, it is not existing in Santa Flora, it is not existing in Point up here. Today Petrotrin is existing right in San Francisco. That is where it is existing, and you must not forget, you must never forget that this Keith Rowley administration shut down a company that was viable, and we have no problem stating that the company needed trimming, but we saw right in front of our eyes the misbehavior of Keith Rowley, not only in the Petrotrin matter, we have seen it in the police service matter. We saw it, ladies and gentlemen, in every institution that ought to be independent in this country. We have a government that puts its hand into the cookie jar, and as a result have the whole country in turmoil. These candidates speak of the crime situation. Nobody is safe. You sitting here, and you better pay attention to your cars. When you leave here, you have to make sure that nobody follows you. When you're going to open your gate, you have to be looking left, right, up and down, because they're coming through your roof and all. Today, I want to tell you that you has a responsibility, and that responsibility is to start the ball of rolling from this local government election, and we will carry it through till Keith Rowley call the general election, and then we, the United National Congress, will take the reins of power, where we will be able to secure you, your family, and this country. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge you, come the 14th, of August, go out to the polls very early. Don't wait for Jason, Ramona, Derek, Javed, Chanel, Nicola, or Khadijah to send a car for you. This election is more important than waiting for a car. It is more important than tying your goat or making roti. Go out to the polls and vote resoundingly for every UNC candidate and bring this election home to the United National Congress where victory will be yours. I thank you and good evening.
That was Victor endorsing victory. Let's hear it for the UNC tonight. Go out and vote. I want to call a young gentleman who is faithfully representing the area of Otahiti, Rosilak. He's going to come and share with us tonight. I want us to give Mr. Javed Mohammed a UNC welcome as he comes. Mr. Javed Mohammed.
It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to...
A pleasant good night to my political leader, the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisessa, MP Bodo, Chairman of SBC, Chairman of the Labre constituency, fellow candidates, and my UNC family. How are you feeling? From August 14th is victory at every single poll for the UNC. Firstly, let me thank the people of Otahiti Rosilak for standing by me and giving me the strength and courage to move on. Thank you, Otahiti Rosilak. And I can't continue without saying thank you for your understanding in the past 3 years, because you all know in the council we have to fight this uncaring government in order for we to serve you, the people, and serve to the best of our ability. And with this line of candidates, my colleagues, I could guarantee you and assure you that victory for the UNC, victory for the people of the Siparia Borough Corporation is near. Brothers and sisters, I have some serious concerns as I come here tonight. I was called by some of my burgesses in the Aripero area where the PNM candidate there has gone in with an excavator and broke the banks of the Silver Stream River, all in the fate of campaigning. I want to call on the Minister of Works and Transport, Mr. Rohan Sinanan, to investigate and let us know what and who gave permission to continue those works and do that to the people there. Because, ladies and gentlemen, once the tide is high and the rain falls, the entire community there will be flooded. So, Mr. Rohan Sinanan, please investigate, because we on this side in campaigning, we campaign for the people, not against the people. And I want to say that we don't ever jeopardize lives and livelihoods. We stand for the people, stand for their lives and their livelihood. We fight for that. All right, so please do your due diligence and take up that matter moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to urge you all, be careful. local government reform is not all that they're making it seem. Local government is there to tax you, the citizens, and promising you all better performance, better representation, more money for the corporations. That is not the truth. Local government reforms, what it says is that they will take all the money that they collect, put it in what they call the consolidated fund, and then it will be up to the Minister of Finance to decide which corporation gets how much. That is how it is right now. And that is what we're facing as councillors in the corporation. We are fighting every day to get funding, to serve you and to bring to you what is deserving to you. All right, so be very careful in going out there on August 14th. When you go and put your X and dip your finger for a party, a political leader, and a candidate that cares for you, and that is a UNC candidate, the UNC party, and Kamla Prasad Bisesa. So come August 14th, don't make the mistake and vote for the PNM, because the only people that really care for you is the UNC, the political leader with people-centered policies that will touch each and every one of your lives. This is the first step to the general election, taking the PNM down, making them know we are not going to stand and take this insult and this kind of treatment. We are going to stand our ground and vote solidly for the United National Congress and your UNC candidate. I thank you.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. Come on. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. I heard a similar excavator story. I hope when Mr. Ali is sharing, could probably, I don't know. He knows what he wants to say, but when it comes to that kind of interference, I understand what that is like. It tantamounts to disrespect. No one likes to be disrespected, and that is what this government is doing, disrespecting the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. But as we move on, I don't want to keep him back. I want to welcome the incoming councillor for Mondesi, a handsome gentleman sitting in the corner there. I want to welcome Mr. Derek Boren.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. Come on. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way.
A pleasant good night to Member of Parliament Dr. Lakwan Bodo, our esteemed political leader Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, my colleagues and soon-to-be councillors of the Superior Borough Corporation, outgoing chairman Mr. Dinesh Sankar Singh, and of course you, the beautiful people of Standard and Environs. I really like the chairman introduction. And when he say handsome, one time they get with me, he score with me, you know. So he will kick him wherever I go. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I know everybody who has spoken before me will have given a different type of discourse. But I want to share something a little different with you. A couple of days ago, I heard the Prime Minister say on some media release that there's a lot of ingratitude in the country because the PNM has built roads and healthcare and whatever. But it's interesting, eh? Because that is his job. That we voting for, you know. We are voting to thief money. He was voting in the government to serve the people, to do roads, drains. That's his job. So for us to be ungrateful for that is hogwash. I've kind of turned off with them, but them boys not good. But I'll tell you another thing. The People's National Movement has virtually run out of ideas. Because in 2019, they contested local government under the reform. We still in 2023, that helped me yet. And in 2020, they contested the joint election on the right choice. So, what do they do now? They combine them both for this election. Reform, the right choice. But what they're not telling any of you all, and I keep saying it every time I speak over this last campaign, there is nothing to stop the PNM from instituting reform, you know. It passed through all the houses already, you know. Just as they proclaim the extension, which is a part of the reform, they can proclaim the whole reform. Nobody can stop them. So who they're trying to fool? They have the Kayas run around and promising from Savan to Baran. For real? I have a concern in Palestine about it. Go and tell them that the UNC is supposed to fix the drain. But they have a PNM concern for the last 4,000 years. So how in God's earth is UNC responsible for that? But that also shows the level of lack of care they have for the people, because they put any dog there, he don't know from his elbow. The UNC is supposed to fix the drain. How is that possible? Ladies and gentlemen, this local, and I call it a local general election, because it's a very important election. Anytime I feel that somebody else go vote for you, all wrong. Anytime I have the impression that, don't worry, we win already, that's not the way we're going to be doing this. The UNC people, I look at Brexit, you know, have an attitude of the lackadaisical when it comes to voting. I have seen PNM people crawl to the poll station. Crawl! But you know we UNC people? How they make roti. When master come home now, I don't see what the cow. All the excuses in the book. Not to go and spend 10 minutes in a polling station. Right? Yeah, transport too, and they still ain't going. I'll give you an example. For the day-based South by election, I worked there for a bit of thing. The guy house there, the polling station here, I stop in front of the house. You know what he tell me? He ain't going nowhere today. He could walk there. He could see the polls from home. And that's what we UNC people do. We UNC people do that. We not in government because of what? MP about 1,000 votes? We not in government for 1,000 votes. Because that 1,000 of we people choose not to go to the polls. And then they're complaining morning to evening. This has to stop. Let me tell you something. You see these people sitting here that have put themselves to represent you all? They work real hard, dog. For $4,000 a month. Work like dog. Flood waters. And that's it. All you feel again, big money, but every wake, wedding, or barbecue, they want something from the council. For a little 4,000 again for the month. But nonetheless, we just survive that. But I point to all of you this evening. Go and call your cousin, your nene, your aunt, whoever that you have influence over, and tell them go and vote.
It's time for win.
Mathematically, we have more UNC supporters in this country than PNM.
It's time for win.
Mathematically. And you see those three young ladies there? Nicola, Chanel, and Khadijah? Trust me, them girls pumping, dog. Them girls pumping. And they will make fantastic representatives.
It's time for win.
Come out and vote. Don't vote. Vote. Thank you.
It's time for win. It's time for.
Code Yellow is ready to lift off. Code Yellow is all around us. Code Yellow and Blue is landing on the SSL Car Park, Sutton Street, San Fernando, with a special prime-time address by UNC political leader Kamla Prasad Bisesa.
On August 14, what are we doing? Don't vote, just vote, just vote.
Live coverage at 2 p.m. on all platforms and TV6. Code Yellow is a safe and secure TNT. Vote UNC.
Presented to us. I want now to welcome the candidate for Avocat San Francisco North, none other than Mr. Dudnat Meru. Let us welcome him, please.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Member of Parliament for Fyzabad. Our honorable political leader, Mrs. Kamala Prasad Bissessa, the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. My colleagues who will form the next council of the Chaguanas, of the, Siparia Borough Corporation. I saw a custom with Chaguanas Borough Corporation. I forget that we is a borough now. And according to the chairman, it looked like we're going to have to start borrowing. Now today, I want to deal with some people throughout the Siparia region who believe that they can hold the candidate to ransom and they kidnap their own UNC vote and want to carry it across to the PNM. They kidnap their own vote and want to carry it across to the PNM. When PNM supporters leaving the PNM in droves and telling Rowley they're not happy with the way the country is being governed. You know, we have a saying, it had 3 wise men. We have an area down in San Francisco, it had 3 foolish men. 3 foolish men who trying to influence the people down in Tulsa Trace and Ramcharan Trace to vote for the PNM. And I will tell you what happened to one of the fella. About a year ago, a bandit running in the house, hit him a gun butt in the head, and they rob him. And apparently, that lash affect the fella brain. So he starts seeing PNM. We were in that area yesterday, and there is 3 fellas in that Ramcharan Trace area who feel they took some kind of big political weight in that area and want to influence people to vote PNM. Partner, now is not the time for PNM. We getting ready to remove the PNM. Them want to go in bed with Rowley now. I want to warn the people in all the electoral districts in Siparia, the 9. If you intend to vote PNM, don't waste your time. Stay home and tie your goat, tie your cow, and cook your roti. And if the 3 foolish fellas down in San Francisco, there in Ramcharan Trace, all you notice I ain't calling no name because I ain't have no court clothes. If they have flour to make roti, Ramona has some hampers she willing to drop for them. Today I was on my way to Pinal. On my way to Pinal, the Ministry of Works busy patching the road from Charlo Junction coming down to San Francisco. 2 out of the 3 foolish men who not working with the ministry stand up there and supervising the patching work to make people feel that them is Rowley patching the road for the people. The 2 foolish fellas from down in San Francisco. I am calling on the people in San Francisco. Do not take no chain up from no foolish people who are advising you to vote PNM. PNM is on their way out. Rowley is checking his days. Have you noticed that Rowley have not been on the road? Rowley have hardly been to meetings. He's missing a lot of meetings because people cussing the PNM right, left, and center. So I want to deal with another issue here. You know, as you wake up in the morning as a candidate, the first thing you do, you open your phone to see if the leader send you a message or Dr. Bodo send me anything for the day. As I open my phone this morning, I see a fella they call Marvin Gonzalez, who taking away your water and can't give people water, want to cuss my leader and say that Kamala spreading bad news in Trinidad and bringing down the country and telling she to shut up. I want to tell Marvin Gonzalez, until such time you could give the people in South Trinidad water, in Fyzabad, in Penal, in San Francisco, in Masaho Junction. You shut up! When you could do the job that you have been paid to do, shut up and stay quiet. You are a failure and you want to tell my leader to shut up on that Kamla Prasad Bisesa. 76% of this country had a 24/7 water supply. Under this PNM administration, that has shrunk to 17%. So Marvin Gonzalez, you better shut up and put water in the people pipe. We have a next fella, they call Rohan Sinanan. He sit down in a chair, he want to play his Rowley. He want to have conversation with the people. Oh, we must determine which is secondary road and which road fall under ministry.
It's time for win. It's time for win.
Something happened? Somebody has arrived? Okay. So, you know when you hear that kind of music, I know well, the leader stepping in. I don't know if she coming tonight. I would have been really happy to see her here.
It's time for win.
Actually, don't set back the man.
It's time for win.
So, Rohan Sinanan saying the secondary roads fall under Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government. It looked like somebody rubbed me and hit me on the head too, because he forget that Rowley take away 200 million from Alawi and give it to the Ministry of Works and Transport. The money that was supposed to fix road in local government, 200 million was given to him. He needs to go and get his head checked.
It's time for win.
You understand? Now, we dealing with facts here. I want anybody who telling me they vote in PNM. I only want one reason why you think you should vote PNM. Now, I will give you some reasons why I think you should not vote PNM. The first thing, the very first thing they did when they came in office, they put back VAT on 7,000 food items that Kamla Prasad Bisesa had removed. That is what they call a care in PNM.
It's time for win.
They shut down Petrotrin. The man say, if you close your fridge door and you're here, maybe not shutting down Petrotrin. Petrotrin gone.
It's time for win.
You can't get water. Every 10 feet you drive is a pothole.
It's time for win.
I was so saddened yesterday when I read that a 32-year-old young man was shot in a home invasion in Karapishaima. He has an 8-year-old child. When a government cannot guarantee the safety and security of its citizens, it means that they have failed and it's time to get out. Shut up and get out. This PNM administration has failed every single citizen in this country.
It's time for win. It's time for win.
Even the PNM supporters feel it too. I talking to a big man in the PNM.
It's time for win.
He tell me, he say, Meru, I feeling it in my bones, boy. He say, it looking like we're going to lose this election. I say, you have to feel it in your bones? I say, people feeling it 8 years now since all you come in power. Their bones shrink because all they do nothing for them. You understand? It is time to stand up. I don't care who like me and who ain't like me. You're voting for me because I stand up and I fight for you. So to every one of the candidates here, every one of them, when we sitting down in pothole and protesting, I don't do it for me, you know. I do it for the people. We fight for you. We stand up for you. We do what we have to do to make sure we bring relief to you. So don't tell me I ain't like Meru and I ain't like Ramona and I ain't like Jason, so I ain't going out to vote. The last time I was here, I asked all you like Rowley? All you like what Rowley doing, all you? All you like it? Well, hear me now. All you don't play smart with foolishness. Make sure we send a message to them Monday coming and let them know.
So they love the talking and take. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 4th. 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and
So I will end here now. Make sure you come out on the 14th. As I tell you, I didn't go up as a candidate for you to like me. Like what others do. Like how others fight the PNM. How others give them pressure. You know, Kamala only talk about the radio station at certain media house. Monday night, I just call that radio station every day. You know they blocked my number from Tuesday morning? I called that radio station 3 times yesterday.
It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them.
The phone ringing, and when they say hello, I saying hello, and them I hearing them saying hello, but them ain't hearing me because they blocked me. So my friends, it is real. The hardship is real. It's going to get worse. We have to make it get better from Monday to set the tone to remove PNM. Come out and vote all your UNC candidates. Thank you.
Code Yellow is ready to lift off. Code Yellow is all around us. Code Yellow and Blue is landing on the SSL car park, Sutton Street, San Fernando, with a special prime time address by UNC political leader Kamla Prasad Bisesa.
On August 14, what are we doing? Don't vote, just vote, just vote.
Live coverage at 2 p.m. on all platforms and TV6. Code Yellow is a safe and secure TNT. Vote UNC.
Another speaker who will share some information with us and encourage us. This is the candidate for Siparia East, San Francisco South. Let's hear it for Miss Ramona Victor.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family.
UNC family. UNC family. Viewers, a special good afternoon to my MP for Fyzabad, Dr. Lakram Bodo, Chairman of the Siparia Regional Corporation, Alderman Dinesh Sankar Singh, fellow candidates, all persons hearing my voice, good afternoon. It has been 8 years now. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is still trying to find out how to solve crime. Yes, 8 years now. We rank 6th in the world with the highest crime rate, and our present PNM government is saying and doing nothing to protect the lives of our citizens. Innocent people dying, citizens getting shot on the streets every single day. Look at what is going on in our country. People do not want to come to Trinidad no more. Bad roads, flood, no water, high food prices, crime on the rise. Who is hearing our cries? People are fed up, but hear what? Property tax in the name of local government reform. How many people lost their jobs within 8 years? Parents have school books to buy. Trinidad, we're in a real mess under the PNM. This government continues to fail us. Nothing is being done to secure our safety and our happiness under the leadership of Keith Rowley. Everybody except Dr. Keith Rowley knows that the Minister of Public Utilities do not know how to manage WASA. 3 weeks, areas in Siparia East, San Francisco South have been suffering for water. But remember, Marvin Gonzalez do not know that when there's a leak in the line, that it will slow down the pressure of water. So what do you expect? You know, ladies and gentlemen, Marvin Gonzalez is still the Minister of Public Utilities.
So we're not getting water in our taps, but we're still getting the bills, you know. The bills come in, it come in. When person requests a truck-borne supply of water from WASA, they're promising you 2 to 5 working days. When you call back after the 5 days, you know what they're telling you? Your requests have been cancelled because we thought that you got the water. So they are not calling the residents and confirming with the residents that they have gotten their supply of water. As long as that 2 to 5 days has passed, they just cancel the request. UNC family, we cannot accept that. UNC family, on Monday, August 14th, we have an opportunity to stand our ground. Go out in your numbers and vote for the United National Congress. Go out in your numbers and vote for Ramona Victor and all the other UNC candidates. A vote for the UNC is the only way to secure our community. A vote for the UNC or the NTA, wherever you live, is a vote to secure our community. United we stand, together we can, and the sun will rise again. I thank you.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC.
One advice. In this area, you don't have a problem because all 5 are UNC. All 5. All 5. But in some areas, you have UNC and you have NTA. My friends, wherever you see UNC, you will not see NTA. And where you see NTA, you will not see UNC. So when you go to the polls, make your choice. UNC, put your X. NTA, put your X. But don't stand in the line as Alice in Wonderland, not knowing what to do. You have to choose UNC or NTA. That's it. That's it. As I leave here tonight, I want to tell you that not only did I go to school in Londonville, but Londonville gave me my early education. It was this village that sent me to Presentation College, Shogunas. It was this village to the brick factory that gave my father a job. It was this village that gave my mother the hope and the strength to sell ice cream every weekend at the brick factory. So my roots here are deep.
Good night to our honorable political leader, Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, our MP for the constituency of Fyzabad, Dr. Lakram Bodo, our MP, Mr. Dave Tanku, our fellow candidates. Welcome to the electoral district of Saparia West, Fyzabad. From the crowd I am seeing here tonight, they say Saparia West is a marginal, but Saparia West is a safe seat. We have a prime minister, he is going about the country and he bawling, reform, 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 reform. It is under a UNC government led by our political leader, Mrs. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, that we started reform, local government reform in this country. Councillors who served many terms, You all could remember it was under local government minister Chandra Sharma that he allowed councillors to now have clerical workers, that councillors were now given offices. So it is a UNC government that started reform, and this PNM government cannot finish it. Brothers and sisters, election is upon us. Days away, it is time to vote on Monday, 14th August. We have the PNM candidates within every single electoral district going about. They are giving out anything you can think about. They are giving it out. But you know what? They're giving out thing halfway. Because I can tell you something. The person who is going up against me, can't even know, I don't even know his name. The person who is going up against me, he was inside John Jules Chase giving out empty school bags for children. But I can tell you something today. I am a teacher. Take the empty school bag, but I will give the children the knowledge so they don't need a school bag. He gave the residents. He gave the residents of Skinner Chase a heap of boulders, and he gave them some oil sand. Yes, we know. Yes, we know that. Yes, we know it cave away, and it's the government that is not building back the road. He gave them some boulders, and he gave them some oil sand, and he said, build a footpath. But I can tell you something. Yesterday, I built a road. And it ain't finished yet. We'll finish it Monday. But I can tell you something. The first person that is passing on that road is a UNC voter Monday morning. We have a candidate going up, yes. Residents of Standard, did he walk through Standard? Did you see him? Anybody see him? I hear when he started walking through, everybody tell him turn around and go. Standard is Jason territory. But I have one thing to say. Standard is not only Jason territory. Siparia West Fyzabad belongs to the United National Congress. I have one thing to tell the PNM. I have one thing to say, and I will say it tonight. They say the PNM has a machinery that will never fall. I beat a PNM machinery in 2019, but come and face my machinery Monday morning. We are powerful, we are strong, and we are determined. We afraid nobody. We in Siparia West will stand our ground. So my brothers and sisters, as I conclude, remember, long live our great party, long live our political leader, and long live the United National Congress. I thank you.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. Come on. It's time for we to vote for the UNC.
Yellow and Blue is landing on the SSL car park, Sutton Street, San Fernando, with a special prime time address by UNC political leader Kamla Prasad Bisesa.
On August 14, what are we doing? Don't vote, just vote, just vote.
Live coverage at 2 p.m. on all platforms and TV6. Code Yellow is a safe and secure TNT. Vote UNC.
Use the road between Siparia and Fyzabad. Some people say Siparia. Is it coincidence that the area that has, whenever rain falls, the most amount?
Thank you for that kind introduction, Chairman Neil Ramnath. Member of Parliament for Mayaro, the Honorable Mr. Rushton Parry. The Member of Parliament and our visitor and special guest tonight for Chaguanas West, Mr. Dinesh Rambali. Our beloved Chairman of the Mayaro Rio Claro Regional Corporation, Alderman Raymond Kozia. Chairman of the Komoto Manzanilla Constituency Executive and former Chairman of the Mayaro Claro Regional Corporation, and the firebomb here tonight, Glenn Ram. Candidate for Rio Claro North, Hazari Ramdeen. Candidate for Eckersville, Shafiq Mohammed. Candidate for Rio Claro South, David Law. And the winning candidates for Mayaro North, Kristen Townsend. For Mayaro South, Waya Boyari, Delavan Louison. And they might tend to say, we's the true tag team. My sister in council, the beautiful, the hard-working, the intelligent, and the next councillor for Coca Mafikin, Ms. Ranel Kison. And let me tell you something, tonight in Beach, my loyal supporters, UNC soldiers.
So they love better TNT. Come on, it's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family.
Good night, everybody. Now I said it softly so that I could hear you say it loudly. Good night, everybody. It is wonderful to be home. It is blessings for me to be able to address you tonight. I am a son of Fyzabad, as you all know, born in Gasparilla, but bred here. And it is a wonderful thing for me to be given the opportunity tonight to celebrate the incoming Borough Council. On Monday, the 14th of August, you will have the opportunity to put in place every single candidate who spoke here tonight and one who I expect will be here shortly in the borough of Siparia. Now, you know why they call it a borough? I heard my colleagues from the local government fraternity earlier spoke about borrowing and borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. But what's the change you expect? You know what it changed? You know what borough status change actually meant for them? It meant a name change because they wanted to make Diego Martin a borough. So they come here to mamagai you and tell you we're making it a borough. Wonderful things, big name. All that will do is increase the cost to you. Because now instead of fixing the equipment that line idle, now instead of paving roads, now instead of patching holes, now instead of building box drains to prevent flooding, now the government is going to take that money to change names. Now it's going to take that money to change the name on the side of a van, to change the street names, to pay for stationery. You think them serious? They think them care about you? This government, in case you don't know it yet, allow me to say it cleanly and clearly, this government does not care about you. And if they don't care about you, you're supposed to care about them? Not at all. Love is a two-way street, not a one-way street. And if you're in love with somebody and they're in love with you, what you say? What you doing? You're suffering yourself, you got grief, and you're looking for horn. So ladies and gentlemen, tonight, take a commitment. Give yourself a chance for a future. This government has come promising reform. I think Derek said it best, just on reform, and they put everything together and now they come with old talk. But you know how you know it is old talk? Derek said it before, somebody else said it before. It's already law. It was already law, so there's nothing new that they need to do to implement. But they spent 8 years sit down playing footsie. 8 years sit down playing footsie without implementing anything. If you give them 3 more years, you think they're going to come to implement? Not a thing. If they didn't do it when they had the time and when they had the money, they will not do it now. And you know why? You know why? This government thinks you're stupid. This government believes that they can say anything they want and you will believe it. Population of Trinidad and Tobago will believe it. Well, our political leader has advised us to pay attention closely to what they say, because what they say and what they do, their words don't match. Their words don't match. So from this stage today, I want to hear out my political leader. Good night, Mrs. Prasad, Mrs. Sir. I want to hear out a couple of my other colleagues. I want to hear out a couple of my other colleagues in the audience. Dr. Moonilal is here. Dr. Lakram Bodo, who is my MP, is here. Your councillors are here. And they will tell you the same thing. They will, and Ravi Ratira, my brother, how are you doing? And they will tell you the same thing. Look, you have a house, and a house full of people from South Trinidad, from right around the corner here to speak and deal with you tonight. But you know why the PNM think we're stupid? And you know how you know that they think we're stupid? They come and they tell you, hear what? PNM people who walking across the road, they're telling you, come and vote for them. And you know what they're offering you? Well, they're offering you Mama Guy and Old Talk. They're offering you Mama Guy and Old Talk and a little piece of paper saying, go and take this $300 and buy grocery in Prasad's. They're bribing you. But don't forget what coming in. Because when they're telling you come and vote for them, they're also telling you come and vote for property tax. So this is the only government in the world that thinks you must go and vote for them for property tax. And that's not all, They come in to tell you vote for them and they will increase your water bill. They come in to tell you vote for them and they will increase your electricity bill. They come in and tell you vote for them and they will increase your transport bill, your food bill, everything going up except your cost of living. Your cost of living has already gone up sky high. Your standard of living has already gone down low. Every morning you wake up in the morning, you're wondering, where are you buying rice? How much rice we could cook today? You realize when you go to the grocery now, they're selling £5 and £1. You realize now it's gone back to a long time when they used to cut a piece of butter, stick of butter, used to cut it in half. You realize they're selling half butter now. You realize they're selling oil in chubby bottle. You know why that is so? This government has made it so. And they have no shame. They come to ask you for their vote. Are they giving them their vote? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I had a lot to say tonight. I had plenty to say tonight, but you have some real speakers, real good speakers coming after us. So I want to say one thing to you all. I want to repeat a statement that my colleague previously had made that I heard on my way here. I want to say it a little differently. Every year for election, for local government election, about 60% of the population do not vote. About 60% of the population do not vote. When persons don't vote, the impression that the government gets is that they like what they're doing. When people do not come out and speak up and vote, the government says, hey, well, we're doing well, so let's continue to do what we're doing best. All they want high crime? We have it now. All they want it to continue? It will continue if the PNM is there. So what you have to do? Vote them out. If you want a better standard of living for yourself and your children, vote for the UNC. If you want security in your homes, because right now, you're not safe behind burglar-proof bars, you're not safe outside, inside, or anywhere. If you want security for your homes, what do you have to do? Vote for the UNC. If you want better food prices, you want lower food prices, more accessible agricultural supplies, what you have to do? Vote for the UNC. If you want better roads and infrastructure, what do you have to do? Vote for the UNC. So I want to follow up as I close with a little something I learned from my friend in Chaguanas. Dinesh Rambali did this. So on this side, I want you all to say you. Well, we have a center space. So on this side, I want you all to say N. And on this side, I want you all to say C. We ready? UNC, 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 UNC. And on August 14th, ladies and gentlemen, let's carry this thing from the 36-37% of persons who vote. Tell your mother, tell your father, tell your father, tell your mother, tell your auntie, tell your nanny, tell your kaki, tell everybody, come out and vote for UNC. I thank you all very much, my brothers and sisters. God bless.
It's time for win.
Code Yellow is ready to lift off. Code Yellow is all around us. Code Yellow and Blue is landing on the SSL Car Park, Sutton Street, San Fernando, with a special prime-time address by UNC political leader Kamla Prasad Bisesa.
On August 14, what are we doing? Don't vote, just vote, just vote.
Live coverage at 2 p.m. on all platforms and TV6. Code Yellow is a safe and secure TNT. Vote UNC.
For Kuva North, Mr. Ravi Rajaram, who's going to speak to us tonight. Let us give him a warm UNC welcome, Mr. Ravi Rajaram.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure.
Pleasant good night, brothers and sisters of the Superior Borough Corporation, burgesses of the Superior Borough Corporation, as you are going to become a borough corporation on the 15th of August when the results are declared. And are we going to bring home every single seat to the United National Congress? That is what we're talking about, my brothers and sisters. Honorable political leader who is joining us on the live tonight, Deputy Political Leader Dr. Rudal Moonilal, Member of Parliament for Fyzabad, my colleague Dr. Lakram Bodo, Member of Parliament for Oropuj West MP Dave Tanku, and as I say, all the winning candidates of the Superior Regional Corporation, the Superior Borough Council. A pleasant good night to each and every one of you, brothers and sisters. Tonight, I will try to be as brief as I can because I know all of you all are waiting to hear the lion roar tonight. Let's make some noise for the lion. But tonight I ask you, brothers and sisters, are we going to sit back and allow the neglect of this rowdy, uncaring PNM to continue? Are we going to be treated as third-class citizens in this country? My brothers and sisters, when we drive through the various electoral districts here in the Superior region, San Francisco, Avocat, Rosilac, Grand Trace, Mondesi, you name it, we have some of the worst roads in the history of this country since the PNM came into office. Since the PNM started in its existence, they were talking about a highway to Point 14. You all remember that? It took a visionary and a compassionate leader to deliver the start of that highway to Point 14. Brothers and sisters, recently I heard the Prime Minister in a conversation in Sangre Grande talking about community concerns. Like all of a sudden, the lash that he get on his head from that golf ball that hit him. Emiro, he had golf club on his head or something like that a long while ago. And like all of a sudden, he recovered from that golf club that hit him on his head. He started to recognize that there are community concerns. And here who he is suggesting will be addressing these community concerns. The biggest failure that it have in the cabinet of the Rowley administration
Rohan Sinanan. Do you all think Rohan Sinanan can address the community concerns of the bad roads? He talk about this powder puff minister, the minister of Wasa. And now he say, he take a man who know nothing about Wasa. Brighton, Destiny, and all others come home to the United National Congress. I thank you.
It's time for Code Yellow is ready to lift off. Code Yellow is all around us. Code Yellow and Blue is landing on the SSL car park, Sutton Street, San Fernando, with a special prime-time address by UNC political leader Kamla Prasad Bisesa.
On August 14, what are we doing? Don't vote, just vote, just vote.
Live coverage at 2 p.m. on all platforms and TV6. Code Yellow is a safe and secure TNT. Vote UNC.
The MP for our area, who is a medical practitioner for close to 40 years. The former chairman of the Southwest Regional Health Authority, a former deputy political leader of the United National Congress, a man who advocates fiercely in the parliament on your behalf to address the ills in the health sector under this government. He was first elected as the MP for Fyzabad in 2015 and is now serving his second term. I want us to welcome MP Dr. Lakram Bodo.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14th, vote for UNC.
Thank you very much, our chairman for this evening's proceedings, Alan Pirangi from right here in Standard. Standard, are you ready? Siparia West Fyzabad, are you ready? Siparia Borough Corporation, are you ready to take back the corporation on Monday? The political leader of United National Congress who is joining us live, the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa. And I want to say a very special welcome to my parliamentary colleagues who have joined us here tonight. The MP for Kuvanot, Ravi Ratiram, MP for Oropuch West, Dave Tanku, who came from Cedras in another meeting, and of course, the Member of Parliament for Oropuch East, a Deputy Political Leader of the United National Congress, and the man whom we've all come here to hear tonight, the Lion from Oropuch East, Dr. Rudal Moonilal. And of course, I want to recognize the chairman of the Siparia Borough Corporation and all of the candidates here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good night. Welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. But I just want you to join me in giving a round of applause to all of the candidates who have spoken here tonight so very eloquently. And Victor Roberts, I want to say that those three young candidates you've been coordinating, you've been doing a very good job. I don't know what has transformed them in the last 2 or 3 weeks from when I first heard them speak to when I heard them speak tonight. I think they're ready for office come Monday 14. Do you agree? So ladies and gentlemen, Monday, August 14th is a local government election. But as somebody said before, it is a local general election. And by that we mean it is an important opportunity for us to send a signal to the PNM government. It is the first phase of what I call an operation, a surgery if you want, to make sure and we remove, when the next general election is called, to remove the heavy hand of a very incompetent PNM government. So it is very important that we show this signal come Monday, August 14th. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a situation here in the Siparia Borough, and the chairman spoke about what the benefits of calling the place the corporation of Borough will bring, and apparently is none so far. Under the PNM,
but I want to give you the assurance on the UNC government that we will bring true meaning councillors to what a borough means in Siparia, because we'll develop Siparia. We'll make sure the Irving Park facility is utilized once more. We'll bring back business to Siparia, Chairman and councillors. So that is why we have to make sure we take it back. And of course, we have the situation where you have inadequate funding, you have late release of the funds. And you know, they are very quick, the PNM Minister of Local Government, to jump up and say that Siparia Regional Corporation, now Siparia Borough Corporation, is a UNC-controlled corporation, and therefore it is anything that is shortcoming is our fault. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, you must remember that the funding still comes from central government. So don't be fooled about that old talk. And of course, what has happened at the Siparia Regional Corporation is that they've been burdened and saddled with additional responsibilities of taking care of some of the Petrotrin facilities which have now been left in a dilapidated state. So those are some of the challenges our new councillors come Monday 14th will face as they go forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to raise a few issues with regards to the health sector. Now, the PNM is trying to distract us by saying that we are talking national issues and not local government issues. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, there's really no local government issues to talk about in this election because they have done nothing for local government. Many speakers have said that before. So really and truly, this is about national issues in the way as we go forward. So again, I want to raise the issue in relation to the Siparia District Health Facility, which is right up here in Siparia, and that is a district health facility that is open 24/7 under Kamla Prasad Bisesa. It remains open, but the problem now is that there's a shortage of ambulances. So when your relatives, when your loved ones go to that facility and they have to be transferred to San Fernando, then they have an issue. Sometimes they have to wait several hours, and that can put their lives at risk. This is something that needs to be corrected. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to keep on the front burner the issue of the Couva Hospital. The Couva Hospital luckily was there and had to be opened during the pandemic. But now that the pandemic is over, I want to ask, what is the status of the Couva Hospital? What is the status of those 230 beds? When is the state-of-art MRI and CT machines going to be utilized for the benefit of citizens? And as I say that, I am told that the NCRHA at Mount Hope, the waiting time for an MRI is 18 months. So instead of putting these equipment to the benefit of you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, they rather leave the hospital closed, and that's something that we are going to keep on the front burner. Ladies and gentlemen, there's also the issue of the nurses, how they have been treated. They are very critical and important factor in the health sector. And we see it recently this week, just a few days ago, nurses had to take to the streets to protest their terms and conditions. But those are issues we'll raise in other forum as we go forward. Ladies and gentlemen, the other issue that affects us here, as we spoke about the closure of Petrotrin and the effect, is the closure of the Petrotrin medical facilities. Those were very good facilities. They provided extremely good service to Petrotrin employees and retirees. And now those ex-employees and retirees are facing tremendous hardship with the closure of those facilities. So ladies and gentlemen, Monday, August 14th is a very important day for Trinidad and Tobago. As I said, it's the first phase of taking the government from the PNM. So ladies and gentlemen, as I close, I want you to join me in endorsing all of the candidates. We want to endorse Shankar T. Loksing in Cedras. I want to endorse Chanel Robertson Erin. And hearing her tonight, I know she's going to take that seat. Nicola Silvestre in Palaseco. Kadisha Castillo in Brighton Vecini. And of course, we have Derek Bowen in Mondesi, taking Mondesi again. And of course, the indomitable Dunad Miru in Avocat San Francisco. Javed Mohammed in Notahiti Rosilak. And young Ramona Victor in Siparia East San Francisco South. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, right here in Standard, right here in Siparia West Fyzabad, We have the man who haven't taken the seat from the PNM in 2019 is going to take it back and keep it for the United National Congress on Monday, 14th August, Mr. Jason Alley. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
It's time for win.
Ready to lift off. Code Yellow is all around us. Code Yellow and Blue is landing on the SSL car park, Sutton Street, San Fernando, with a special prime-time address by UNC political leader Kamla Prasad Bisesa.
On August 14, what are we doing? Don't vote, just vote, just vote.
Live coverage at 2 p.m. on all platforms and TV6. Code Yellow is a safe and secure TNT. Vote UNC.
Thank you very much for your cooperation. So we are here tonight. We have listened to many a speaker, and we have come to that time. I heard someone said earlier they want to hear the lion roar. Dr. Rudal Moonilal is a former minister of government with an impressive educational background, 4 tertiary levels academic degrees in government, law, labor, and development studies. He lectured as a part-time tutor in UWI 1988 to 1991, 1993 to 1994, and 1996, and he was a teaching and research assistant at the Institute of Social Studies 1995, 1997 to 1998. He was an advisor to the ATS GWTU 1999, lectured at UWI St. Augustine 1999 to 2000, and was a lecturer at the Institute of Social Studies for a brief period. A member of Parliament since 2001, Dr. Moonilal served as a government senator and was later elected to the House of Representatives, representing the constituency of Oropouche, later named Oropouche East. With 22 years plus of parliamentary experience, he has emerged as one of the region's most competent and formidable parliamentary debaters, and is currently the deputy political leader of the United National Congress. I want tonight, Standard and Environs, Trinidad and Tobago, I want you to give this gentleman a round of applause, Dr. Rudal Moonilal, as he takes the stage.
It's time for we to build a better TNT. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for that abbreviated introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, may I begin by acknowledging in our midst the very distinguished and illustrious Member of Parliament for the constituency of Fyzabad, our brother Dr. Lakram Bodo. My dynamic parliamentary colleagues, the Member of Parliament for Oropouche West, economist, attorney at law, and chairman of the Public Accounts Committee in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago, the very distinguished Mr. Devendra Tanku. The Member of Parliament for Couva North, a former chairman of State Enterprises in Trinidad and Tobago, student leader at the University of the West Indies. Today he leads in the Parliament in our debates on agriculture, Industry and Development, let us also give a round of applause to the Honorable Ravi Ratiram. Those of you turned out tonight on this dark, overcast, wettish evening in Fyzabad, those of you turning out tonight in your hundreds to listen to this meeting, I'm told we have thousands of persons on the social media stream, including our very distinguished political leader, the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa and family. Our dear friend Norbert Sukram and his family in Ontario, Canada. Our brothers and sisters in New York, in Miami, in the Caribbean. And I was reprimanded recently when I did this because somebody told me, well, you just always call every country. But the supporters we have also in the Cooperative Republic of Guyana listening to us, we give them a round of applause. We also have in our midst the dynamic former Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, son of the soil, a fighter for democracy, transparency, justice and equality. Let's get a round of applause for the very distinguished Anand Ramlogan, Senior Counsel. Could I ask you also to welcome and acknowledge all winning candidates of the Siparia Regional Corporation assembled here. My brothers and sisters, why do we do this really? Why on a Friday night, on this beautiful evening, we would leave the comfort of our family, the warmth of our homes, the ambience, not the ambulance, the ambience of some other place to come out here at this recreation ground in our hundreds with our flags, our whistles, our horns and so on to celebrate this victory that will come on August the 14th. I don't think you could be louder. It is because we are patriots. We believe in our country. We love our country. We love our people, and we believe that there's a better future for Trinidad and Tobago. That is why we are here. In any nation, there are only few people that will come out this way to fight, to struggle for justice, for equality, for unity. But those are the people that develop a national community. Those are the people that develop a country. So tonight I applaud all of you here, those of you listening, that you have taken the advice of the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisesa, and we stand our ground in defense of democracy. We are here tonight because we want to secure Trinidad and Tobago. We want to secure the elderly. We want to secure the children. We want to secure the educational future of our country. We believe that this country is not bad. It is worth saving. I travel throughout the Caribbean, and when people meet me, they come up to me. They say, Rudy, I say, what happened? They say, how did the PNM do it? I say, what do you mean how they do it? You know what people tell me? They say, how did the PNM destroy this country in 8 years? A prosperous oil and gas rich economy with the strongest manufacturing center in the Caribbean, the largest and most sophisticated service industry with the highest level of literacy and education, the highest level of human capital, they destroy in 8 years. And today I tell Rohan Sinanan, I think between changing glasses, he said that everything in this country, the PNM bill. I think that fella was waiting for Chaser. And he said that, but I want to tell him, if he can tell me one thing the PNM bill, I can tell him one thing the PNM did not destroy. And both of us will fail. They have destroyed every institution. Brothers and sisters, look at the state of infrastructure in this country. Infrastructure is the bedrock of industrial development. There's no country on the planet that could develop their industry, develop jobs, create income redistribution and so on without road, without highway, without drainage, without bridge, without port and so on. Rohan Sinanan has presided over the collapse of the infrastructure. He will be remembered for roads like Crick's Biscuit. All you have to put 6 Crick's Biscuit on a plate, put cheese on it, and then when you hold it, everything fall apart. All the road in this country like Crick's Biscuit. Down here you have the mosquito crack. About $60 million gone. We don't know what happened. All over the country, they put road, they build road, they boast, they cut ribbon. 6 months later, going through. In San Fernando, 8 years, those of you who go to San Fernando, 8 years they're talking about the waterfront project, man. The waterfront project. Where's the waterfront project, huh? Where is it? They build a 2-lane highway or 4-lane highway. One, before it complete, it starts flooding. Before it complete. They had taken 8 years to build a car park that the UNC government started. Dr. Bodu would remember we started the car park at the San Fernando General Hospital. 8 years now, they can't finish that, you know. They talk waterfront, man, hotel, housing, industrial kind of thing. When you go down there, it's the same hotel they had in 1938 for the war. It's called Happy Corner now. In the old days, what does it call it? They call it Black Cat. In the old days. That's the name of the hotel. When you go down on the wharf, the same fella who's selling buljol, the fella selling bake and buljol and Milo, he's still there 40 years ago. He's still there. You see 2 stray dogs and a crapo. And that is a waterfront project, man. The waterfront. 8 years. Look at your community. They cannot fix it. I have been walking all over this country today. I walk in my own constituency finally. I walk in my constituency. So I go up to some brothers on the road. I say, what's happening? Tell me. They say, boss, Lord, man, oh God. I said, what's happening? They say, we ain't get water for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks. I want to tell the scientists, and in the UNC we have a lot of scientists like Dr. Bodu, Mr. Ratiram, Tanku and all of us. They read big book and study hard. And they know science. On the planet Earth, you have technology now that could send a man to Mars. They could send a ship to Mars, correct? But you know when the water come in a village, Wasa say the water can't climb up the hill. Imagine in the world, you could send a man on the moon, but water can't climb up the hill. So when water comes in your community, if you live in an ascending area on a hill, you can't get water. You have to wait until it push and push and push. This is Trinidad and Tobago under the PNM. You cannot provide water. We come to crime, brothers and sisters. A young man, I think aged 32 years, Dale Nandlal in the constituency of Couva North. His son, he was murdered in a home invasion. Young dynamic man was protecting his wife and family in a home invasion. He lost his life at the age of 31 or 32. Young man, young wife, young family, home invasion. Today, Kamla Prasad Bisesa is the most courageous and brave leader in the Caribbean for putting on the table stand your ground legislation. Whatever she has done in the past, all her good work, and she has done a lot of good work, she must be remembered as having the courage and the tenacity to stand up and tell the criminals they are not safe under a government of the United National Congress. Why is it that Kamla Prasad Bisesa so at every moment stands on the side of the victims of the Nandlal family of today, but Rowley appears to stand on the side of the criminal? He wants to always explain reasonable force, and if they jump over your yard to thief mango or thief zaboka, you could shoot them. Who jumping over who yard to thief zaboka and mango now? They want to fall into the mouth of a pit bull? Huh? I tell him come home by me if he want a thief that I have a pit bull by the gate waiting for him. And the pit bull have AIDS. So brothers and sisters, these are the people running the country. They are on the side of criminals. The people who run this country on the side of criminals. They are not on the side of victims as the United National Congress, as Kamla Prasad Bisesa. They are not. Brothers and sisters, today I ask the question, when you look at home invasion, the intensity, the frequency, is this also organized crime? It appears to be organized crime where people are targeting villages, targeting homes. They do their surveillance and so on to know which home is this, where the elderly is. Imagine elderly people, they live, they pay taxes, they pay NIS, and they retire, and in the sanctity of their home, their castle, they can't live in peace. They can't live in peace. If the dog bark, you jump up in the night, you wake up. You all know that? If you hear rain falling and it drop on the galvanized hard, you jump up, you think something walking on the roof. Man, if somebody use the washroom and they drop the toilet seat, you jump up too. You cannot sleep in peace in this country. Regardless of where you are, you think that you are the next victim. And when Rowley talk about the UNC, he concerned with the last 10 years. He talking about Kamla and Moonilal and Ram Logan 10 years ago. We concerned with the next 10 days. We are concerned with 10 years. We concerned with the next 10 days. The highest duty of any government is to protect citizens. Since civilization started and human beings congregate into community or society and so on, have you noticed with all the movies you watch, historic movies and historical depiction, they used to barricade a settlement and put up gun and cannon and thing to keep invaders and intruders away? Security is your highest duty. Today, people are going and intruding the homes of the elderly, the young man, Mr. Nandlal and others, killing them without any compassion. It is the most brutal and heinous crime, and Rowley appears to stand in defense of that. We have proposed, Mrs. Prasad Bisesa has proposed on the table, stand your ground legislation, reverse this nonsense about reasonable care. What reasonable force and thing? When a man come in front of you with a gun, you have less than a quarter of a second to make up your mind what you're going to do. What are you going to do? Offer him a plate of food? Tell him you make dal puri and duck and karaili today if he want. You have to respond, and that is why she's telling you, empty the clip. Empty the clip. Light them up. Maybe if the young brother had a weapon to defend himself, he would have been alive tonight, and that house and that community would not be traumatized. And Rowley concerned with legal gun. He ain't concerned with illegal gun, he concerned with legal gun. Today, a story is developing. I ask you to keep your mind on it, brothers and sisters. Mrs. Prasad Bisesa, a couple nights ago, said that there are government ministers with automatic weapons. Either they purchase it or convert it into automatic weapons. Those weapons are illegal. They are prohibited. They cannot be in the hands of what we call civilians, non-police law enforcement. Mrs. Prasad Bisesa said there may be cabinet members, ministers who are in possession of illegal weapons. We are being told today that one cabinet minister has presented himself to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the Armory I believe, and is surrendering his weapon. Now there's a serious matter. You cannot surrender an illegal weapon, you have to go to jail. There is no gun amnesty here, no amnesty in place. So how can a minister go to the police armory? Under what law are you surrendering an illegal weapon? That man should be held and charged. And when they slap the cuff on him, they must have a small pin to lock it. When they slap the cuff on him, they must take a small pin and lock it. Brothers and sisters, we also ask questions of the TTPS. Under what law are you retrieving, collecting, receiving an illegal weapon from a member of the public, from a civilian? What law allows you to receive that? And don't come and tell us it's for disposal of the weapon. No, no, no. The law has a prescribed process by which you can dispose of firearms. If the police sees firearms in a crime, the crime has been solved, they go to court, jail people and so on. There's a process for disposal of firearms and ammunition. There is no process to collect gun from a minister of government. There's none. He must be held, he must be charged, he must be prosecuted, and he must be convicted. That is what we want. And more of that in the coming days. Brothers and sisters, time flies, even when you're not having fun. But when you're having fun too. Brothers and sisters, could I indicate to you, there's a hot issue involving Ravi Balgobin Maharaj, Anand Ramlogan, Saddam Hussein, and Wade Mark. The Prime Minister jump up, he say he's suing Wade Mark and Saddam Hussein. I say, well, I vex. What about me? Why is nobody here? I have court clothes too. Sue me too, because I say the same thing. The Prime Minister has been caught with his pants down. And it is not a pretty sight. It is not a pretty sight. He has been caught with his proverbial pants down. And what has happened is a simple matter. I don't know why them have to read big book to understand this. The fella gone and buy 2 townhouses in Tobago, one for himself and his wife, and his daughter purchased one. They purchased it at below market value.
Buy one and get one free.
Now, I know when you go on High Street, you go by Deluxe or Montano Plaza or something, you buy one, you get one free. Then buy house, they get one discount and the next one with a bigger discount. That has implications for tax fraud, because you have to declare stamp duty and pay stamp duty on a market value. But anyway, them go on ahead, man. They buy, they get a discount. The fella who give them the discount now, he's a contractor in Tobago named Alan Warner. He buy it first, unless I'm mistaken. He buy it first. So when he buy it, he say, well, I love these nice apartments. I could use that. That is for me. But then he change his mind. He say, Rowley, you and your family only deserve it more than me. So take it, man. He dropped the price by $480,000 at one point. That is a gift. That is a gift that you give someone. Rowley come with a cock and bull story now. He come with this cock and bull story. He say, well, here what happened? You know why he dropped that price? Because long before they build that, I tell them I was taking one. I go buy that, so I get a discount. So if a fella drop 2 loads of sand and gravel by the empty lot, you go say, boss, I go buy that house, but give it for $1 million cheaper. That's what Rowley is coming with now. But they declared a certain value. They paid less stamp duty than the amount of money payable to the Board of Inland Revenue. So they have defrauded the government of tax revenue. And that is the issue that the latest initiative of Ram Logan and others are dealing with. That is the issue. So he get this nice discount and he come now. But here this one. Now 23 years now I filling out these integrity in public life declaration business. And let me tell you something, there's a pain in the neck by itself. But we go talk about that next time. Them does ask you every damn thing in the world. Oh God, man. Oh, them will tell you everything you have to explain, and then they write you 100 letters to explain more. So then what he does is a simple thing. The Integrity Commission operates this way. There are 2 forms to fill out, Form A and Form B. Form A is private. That is for the Integrity Commission alone. But Form B is for the public to see. So if you declare on Form A something that nobody's seeing that, nobody, unless it have a criminal investigation sometime. But when you declare on Form B, anybody could go and say, my name is John Smith. I want to say Rudal Moonilal Form B. The people tell you sit down in the office right there. I'm bringing it for you. Go and look at it. What the fella did? He gone and declare, or he claimed he declared on Form A the 2 apartments, but he didn't declare it on Form B. Because he did not want the public to see it. You do not declare in Form B because you do not want the public to see.
If you acquire property, you buy land, you buy house, you buy dog kennel, you don't want nobody to see it, you don't declare it on Form B. Now he thought he would have get away with that until a fella named Saddam Hussein appeared. And Saddam gone and write letter after letter, inquiry after inquiry. Then we discover he didn't declare the damn thing on Form B. And he declared everything, but not that. Because that had to do with Alan Warner. That had to do with a contractor in Tobago. Do you know Alan Warner is a subcontractor of the Chinese company China Rail, or one of them? If not them, another one. But he's a subcontractor in projects operated and managed by UDCOT. UDCOT is under the office of the Prime Minister. So imagine a contractor or subcontractor under UDCOT managed by Rowley. Give Rowley and his family a nice handsome gift of a discount in that beautiful apartment building. What is that? Rowley now come, he say, I will sue you to the end of the earth. Now the earth is wrong, it have no end. That's okay. It's okay, no end. He want to sue everybody in sight, but he will have to go to court and explain why he did not declare it in Form B. Because Form B has guidance and regulations and so on, you know. When you're going to declare, there's going to be a big, the Form B to declare is about 5 page, and the rules, guidelines and regulation about 20 page. And they say buildings with housing or property or structures on them you declare. It's not just land. Rowley said, well, I thought that was just land. It's not land, it's an apartment. So where the apartment affixed to? Mars? It affixed to the sky. The apartment suspended in the air with Caribbean Airline. It is on the ground. It is in a place called Chevron Development Site, whatever. It is there on the ground. It is land upon which you have a structure, which you own or have a beneficial interest. You must declare in Form B. What that fella think? When Rowley come with that cock and bull story, I must tell you, I go on and I open my cupboard home. I'll dig up, and I look for my bird paper. I dust it out. Because my mother did tell me I was born in the morning. But I want to tell Rowley I wasn't born this morning. I was born in the morning, but not this morning. So when he come and say, well, I didn't know it was building and structure, I thought it was just land. He has to be pulling a cock and bull story on people. And he knows better. Let me tell you something. The fella in politics and public life for 40 years, he know. Keith Rowley believed that we are fools. That is why he's saying that. But he has to answer in court, in the High Court, in the Court of Appeal, and he will even answer in the Privy Council, and he don't like Privy Council at all. But he will go there to answer that charge when the time comes with that Integrity Commission. Then it have a man on the Integrity Commission, Mrs. Prasad Bisesa told you, somebody named Frederick Gills, I think. If I pronounce his name wrong, forgive me, Mr. Gills. Forgive me. But that is his name. The fellow applied to be senior counsel to the Attorney General, where the Prime Minister makes that decision. Never declare in the meeting that we now determining the fate of the Prime Minister, and I waiting to see what happened to my application. Never determine that. A conflict of interest. He has to answer questions, and the chairman of that whatever they call the Integrity Commission, a fellow named Rajendra Ramlogan, he has many questions to answer, many on this matter and related issues to this matter, as to why did they take Rowley off the hook. Why? In a former incarnation, Basdev Pandey, Finba Ganga, they reported them to the DPP. They were charged and prosecuted and then, of course, acquitted, brothers and sisters. But no such fate for Keith Rowley, because he named Keith Rowley. That way he named. So he can't go through that. This has to stop. This country cannot develop. We cannot see development. We cannot see progress. We cannot see opportunity if you treat leaders one way and you treat others another way. That is the important point to make here. So, brothers and sisters, that matter has been reported to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service in the context where that constitute criminal offense, tax fraud and other related offenses. So we await what Ms. Erla Christopher Haywood will say and do in this matter. We await that. We want to await what Fitzgerald Hines, if he is awake, what he will say or do on that matter. That fella, anybody see him recently? Anybody see him recently? There's a real suspicion this fella like Kumkaran, you know, that he gone to sleep for about 6 months or 6 years or something, you know. There's a real thing, you know, in the Ramayana, the Ravan brother went to sleep for years. There's a real problem that this fella may be sleeping still. The Minister of National Security of this country couldn't care one damn about the murder, the home invasion that is taking place now, brothers and sisters. And those are issues that Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the UNC stand strong on, and we say, stand your ground. Secure Trinidad and Tobago. Brothers and sisters, don't want to keep you much longer, but to tell you that you must reject the PNM. Reject them when they come to your street. Reject them when they come to your door. They have no shame. They have no shame. Do you know today in the so-called strongholds of the PNM, they cannot walk there? They cannot walk. Nobody want to see them. Nobody want to hear them. Rowley cannot hold a public meeting like us on the street by a recreation ground where anybody can come. All you see we sit down on a white, what do you name chair boy? A cow, eh? He sit down there like King Dashrath, listening to people. He sit down there like if he's some king and emperor, listening to people from the audience, but will not have a political meeting to report. He has reached his stage, brothers and sisters, where we say stand your ground, and he can't even stand the ground he on. He cannot. He wants to sit down whole night on a sofa and listen to people like if he's some emperor or king or something like that. They cannot go to the people are rejecting them. When we go on the East-West corridor in areas that you thought were PNM, the people come out to embrace the United National Congress, to embrace the candidates of the UNC, to indicate that they are supporting the UNC. You go to a home. I had the personal pleasure and experience of going to a particular home in San Fernando where I know over the years, I contest San Fernando already. That home is PNM. The people there are strong PNM. Last time I go on there to campaign, they hold up a big picture of Patrick Manning in front of my face. When I went to them this time, I told them, I said, I just come to say hello. I ain't come to fight. I come to say hello. They come out, they say, doctor, we have to talk to you. What are you doing to remove Rowley? That is what they call. 20 years ago, they had a poster Manning in front of my face. They say, what are you doing? What are you doing? Today I want to tell you that PNM operatives are telling us we must win on Monday the 14th so they can move to remove Keith Rowley on August the 15th. They are telling us that. So brothers and sisters, whether it is the NTA in the Point Fortin, the Diego Martin, the Port of Spain, the United National Congress in Siparia, Pinal, etc., we must come out in our numbers. As a man told us on the mic day before yesterday, this is the most important local general election you will ever fight. Most important. Because Monday night we must send a message to them. Send a message and reject them and tell them their days are numbered. Their days are numbered. Brothers and sisters, we have to tell Rowley that enough is enough. He come in with this rubbish about local government reform. They want to reform local government. My friend, let me tell you something. You know what people want? They want 2 wheelbarrow oil sand. They want water. They want a street light when it mash up. Oh God, go and fix the street light now. That is a resource issue. If you resource the community, resource the regional corporation, man, they will light up. They'll put street light. They will have water projects. Brothers and sisters, they will fix the box drain. They will clear out little river parts and things where people complaining. That requires resources, not local government reform. Local government reform will help you to get 2 buckets of sand. That is what people cry out for in this country. And they're coming with all this nonsense about setting up more committees and all this kind of. Hey, if you set up all them committees, I want to tell candidates, right? All of you, the winning candidates. You know, if you set up all of them committee, all will get more unpopular. Because what will happen is the committee will do all the work. They will end up doing nothing. They will participate in a red tape process for months and months. Take all the money, and at the end of the day, the councils will have no resources to fix the basic problems facing this country. So that local government reform is a sham. That is to get jobs for PNM friends and family. That is what that is about. When we were in government under Kamla Prasad Bisesa, we gave the communities the resources so they could have more box drain projects, more water projects, more street lighting. You all remember? We used to go around with tea and tech by grounds like this, man, and every month, 2-3 function, putting on lights, pressing switch and so on.
Kamla like this ground.
She light this ground too. Well, Kamla light up here too. She light up here too. So brothers and sisters, reject the PNM. On Monday, the 14th of August, come out in your numbers. First job, bring out the people in your own house and family. Bring out your family, bring out your neighbors, look on the streets, bring out the people from the same street you live on, then go to the next street, then go to the community, then increase to your town, your city, whatever. And all of you must be transformed into street captains and drivers, bringing the people. So the 9 candidates now, could I invite you to come up? The 9 candidates, the MPs, come up on stage and join me. We will give a resounding victory to all 9 candidates in the Siparia Regional Corporation and return the United National Congress to full control in the Siparia Regional Corporation. Tonight I want to tell you, not one damn seat in the corporation for the PNM. Thank you. God bless you all.
It's time for we to build a mentality and take. It's time for we to vote for the UNC. So let me tell them, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and your family. August 14, August 14, August 14, vote for UNC. August 14, vote for UNC. August 14, vote for UNC. August 14, August 14, August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country. Stand your ground now for you and your family. So now we vote. This is the time to secure TNT. Come out and vote. Make sure the children safe in the community. So we have to vote. This is the time to secure TNT. Hey!
You see the crime and violence, we can't take it no more. And the home invasion of the people insecure.
To secure TNT when sees the way to go. So on election day, what to do?
Just vote for you. For your family security. Vote for you. For your community security. Vote for you. Just to save your economy. Vote for you. Vote for security and take. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country.
To secure TNT. Come out and vote.
Make sure the children safe in the community. So we have to vote. This is the time to secure TNT. Stand your ground and secure your family. Stand your ground and secure the community. Stand your ground and secure this country. Stand your ground now. Stand your ground now. Hey!
You see the crime and violence, we can't take it no more. And the home invasion of the people insecure.
Security to the fullest.
To secure TNT when sees the way to go.
The way to go.
So on election day, what to do?
Just vote for you. For your family security. Vote for you. For your community security. Vote for you. Just to save your economy. Vote for you. Vote for security and take. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your family. August 14, vote for UNC. That's the way to secure your country.
Now we vote.
Stand your ground now for you and your family.
So now we vote. This is the time to secure TNT. Come out and vote.
Make sure the children safe in the community.
So we have to vote.
This is the time to secure TNT. Stand your ground and secure your family. Stand your ground and secure the community. Stand your ground now. Stand your ground now. For your family security. Vote for you. For your community security. Vote for you. Just to save your economy. Vote for you. Vote for security and take. Vote for you. August 14, vote for UNC. August 14, vote for UNC. August 14, vote for UNC. August 14, August 14, August 14, August 14.